Hey guys, hey, how you guys doing today? It's Tuesday. What day is it? Tuesday. Tomorrow's hump day. Yeah, buddy. I put my legs up so I won't rock because that's what I want to do on it. Okay. Where's your water? Where is it? Nope, put me on pause and go get it. I told you no. If you're a weight loss surgery patient, you need to get some water. Where is it? Only exception is if you VSGers or those like don't eat 30 minutes before. Don't drink 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after the horse malarkey. That's the only excuse. You should always have agua. Oh, I'm trying to. There we go. So today I wanted to talk about mental illness. I wanted to talk about the different aspects of mental illness and how uncomfortable people become when you talk about being mentally ill, or you talk about having chronic pain, or you talk about anything, you know, when people have to hear, oh yeah, she's got bipolar, okay, well she's crazy, okay, that's fine, okay, good girl, but we don't want to hear it. Or, you know, they want to talk about your weight loss journey, but they only want to hear the good parts. They don't want to hear the bad part. They're like, oh, girl, I ain't about that life. Like, I don't want to know anything about that. No, you vomit all the time. Don't care. Like, I just want to hear how much weight you've lost. That's all I want to hear. Nope. And you'll find people like that everywhere. You really will. And, you know, for me, it's very hard. It's very hard for me to be as vulnerable as I possibly can, because I have been taught my entire life, you don't talk about it, you don't mention it, you sweep it up underneath the rug, nobody needs to know. You all have that cousin that's all kind of, you know, or Uncle George, you know, that jumped off a building, you know, or, you know, you have that crazy aunt with the 50,000 cats that, you know, smells like mothballs, and she sends you hairy Jell-O for Christmas every year, or, you know, a nasty fruitcake from 1959. You have those people, but you see what I'm saying? When you talk about them, it's not like my Aunt Susan, or no, it's my crazy Uncle Bob, you know, that tried to get me to sit on his lap. It's the, you know, Aunt, you know, Elaine, who, you know, has 19,000 cats, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like people don't want to admit that it is, that more people than not seem to have mental illnesses. And, you know, some people blame it on our diet, some people blame it on the environment, some people blame it on this, some people blame it on that, blah, 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 blah. You know, some people blame it on the rain. There is seasonal defective depression disorder, which means that, like, people in the, like, my mother-in-law has it in the summertime. During the summertime when it's really hot, she gets really depressed. Some people, like I do, I get it in the winter. Like, I get really depressed when it's really bleak outside and there's no sunlight, and I'm just like, ugh. I become... the moon also fucks with my cycling. Like, my moon, it's my moon now. When the moon is full, I go, you know, I become more agitated, having more anxiety, more pissy when the moon is full. Like, I always do. A couple days before, a couple days after, and then I'm back to normal. But yeah, and usually I get a twofer. Usually I'll get my lady time as well, which is also super fun. So, mental health for me, you know, I've told you guys stories before about how I knew something was wrong. I knew I wasn't, you know, quite right. I knew that there had to be something going on with me from a very, very young age. But again, I throw this out there because people do not want to talk about it. And especially when I was growing up, I'm damn near 40 years old. When I was growing up, you did not mention it. You didn't think about it. Nope, you're fine. Just walk it off. Walk it off, girl. You want to kill yourself? Walk it off. walk it up. Nope, just walk it up. It's not like today. There's not a whole lot of suicide awareness. There's not a whole lot of, support. There's not a whole lot of, like you see more people now talk about autism and people with autism and, but still the mental illness and the chronic illnesses, people are like, I'm fine. I'm dying inside. Inside, my heart is literally crumbling into 1,000 pieces, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm real good. Yeah. Until you're off, until I'm off the phone or I'm out of sight or Matthew's gone to work and I completely dissolve into a quivering pile of, sobs and gasping tears like that. That's not normal. That's not normal. Yes, most people, I'm going to say damn near almost everybody is going to experience depression and anxiety about things in their life. They're going to get sad. They're going to get sad about shit in their life. Okay. When it becomes crippling, when it becomes too much, when it becomes a constant thing that you're noticing, you know what, I'm a lot more depressed than I am happy, or I'm a lot, you're flying off the rails, gambling and, prostituting, snorting coke off of, prostitutes' butts and stuff like that, when you've gone like completely the other way, then maybe you might want to seek help. I used to be really angry, and I say this because you guys are like, oh, you're just so sassy. Sassy and being a complete BICTH, completely different. Like, I got plenty of sass, but it took me getting a handle on some of my mental health for me to be able to be more of me and just not what I thought people wanted me to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody mentioned the other day, like, if you go back to my earlier videos, I tried to be somebody I'm not. I tried to be somebody that brands would want to, review their stuff, that they would want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tried to be, and she put it more vanilla. I tried to be not as much me. And it took me getting on Wellbutrin. I have been on Wellbutrin almost a year and a half. A world of difference. I've done behavioral therapy, cognitive therapy. I'm doing brain painting, like whatever it takes to get my mind where it needs to be while I still have the best insurance I can have is what I'm doing. Like every time I can, I am trying to better myself. If that means my body, if that means my mind, my spirit, my soul, whatever it takes, I am still working hard on trying to be the best Nirvana I can be. I don't want to be anybody else anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would hide how depressed and sad and awful I felt so often and put happiness or pretend faking it till you make it a lot, especially for my videos in the very beginning. I wasn't comfortable enough to be me. I wasn't comfortable enough broaching the hard subjects like this. I wasn't comfortable. Learning that I actually do have bipolar and that I actually am chronically, in chronic pain and stuff like that, that it wasn't just in here. Because for the longest time I was like, yeah, well, everybody feels this way. Everybody, yeah, this is just what life is like. Everybody feels this way. And then my husband was like, no, they don't. Like, I don't feel that way, like, ever. He's like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it took my husband pulling me aside and be like, baby, like, I really think that you should seek some help. And I was like, no, I'm good with just what I'm doing now. And he's like, no, you're really not. And I'm like, no, really, I'm good. There's nothing else wrong with me. I'm good. And I kept piddle-footing around, not trying to get a psychiatrist, like not putting enough effort into getting a psychiatrist because I didn't want to hear what they were going to say. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to acknowledge it because once it's on paper, it's on paper. Once they diagnosed me with bipolar, it is on my medical records, and then, you get treated like you have bipolarism. Just like I didn't want to go to pain management. I wanted to just suck it up and hurt every day and be fucking miserable because I didn't want them to put that I was seeing pain management, because when you go into an ER or a doctor's office and they see that you're in pain management, you get treated like a drug, a drug seeker. And that is not something I wanted. You know what I keep saying, you know what I'm saying, like you guys can answer me. But a lot of the time, people go undiagnosed. People don't want to really delve into their problems. They don't want to see what's really happening, pulling that wool back from over your eyes and seeing what your life is really like. And they don't want to seek help because they're either ashamed of it, or they think that they can't find any, or they can't afford it. Well, I know, at least in my experience, when I was, my early 20s, when I first tried to kill myself, my early 20s, like very beginning of my 20s, the Tennessee government picked up my tab at the state hospital and stuff like that, because I wasn't working. And, they told me that I was bipolar, and then they told me I was manic depressive. And back then, those two things were completely different. So, and I was like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever, I'm just fat. And then that is something I thought I would really bring up. I thought that if I lost all my weight, that all this would be gone. That's what I truly felt in my heart of hearts. I felt that if I dropped all of this weight, that if I got healthy and got skinny and could feel good about my body, that all of this would be fixed. And it doesn't. It doesn't fix anything. Like, it doesn't fix a damn thing to do with this. In fact, it's caused a lot more issues because I haven't reached my goal. I haven't gone and, gotten all my skin taken care of. That I do have body dysmorphia. Like, so just because I've dropped over 200 pounds and I could fit in an extra large, that does not fix all of this. I still had to work at it. And I guess what I'm really on here today to say is that, it is okay to be mentally ill. It is okay to seek help. It is okay to ask for help. And if the people in your house are not listening, if your husband isn't listening, if you're dropping subtle clues, stop that. Subtle clues are not going to do anything for you. Like, if you want help, ask for help. And if you don't know how to ask for help, seeking out somebody by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just a friend to talk to. If you feel like your family won't understand, or, that you're afraid of what it will do to you, or what kind of medicines you might have to take, or anything like that, like, it would be better for you in the long run to just try therapy first before jumping, head first into trying to get pills and stuff like that. That's what I did. I went to therapy first, and then after actually 2 years of me in therapy before I was willing to really get on anything to try to curb what was happening to me. And yes, I take Wellbutrin and I take Ativan, and I'm taking a new medication that hopefully in the next probably month and a half I could tell you what it is, if it works or not. So I don't know. But I'm learning what stable is. I'm learning that it's okay for me to talk about this. It's okay for me to explain what it's like for me. It's okay for me to ask for help. It's okay for me to lean on people. It's okay for me to try to make new friends. And the people who are really, truly your friend will love you when you're down and out just as much as they love you when you're happy and, doing everything right and life is going good. Those people will still love you and care about you even more when you are down and out and things look bleak and you can't see, the light at the end of the tunnel. Those are the people those are your family. That's your tribe. Those are the people that that at 3 o'clock in the morning you could call them and be like, I need someone to talk to. And by God, they would sit there with you. I have done it myself. I've done it with many of people, myself, you know. So I love your beautiful, gorgeous, amazing faces. I really wanted to put on here that you are so worth all the trouble, all the anguish, all the pain, all of that stuff. You are worth staying alive. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. Life will not always be as bad as today. You know, I've said it many times, it can't rain all the time. So just because this week is shitty for you doesn't mean next week would be shitty for you. Next week could be the best time of your life. You just have to be here to find out. So, and I will talk at you guys very, very, very soon. Bye.